All right. How to make
Millions.
$1 billion. Restart that.
I'm gonna keep that in, bro.
High ticket Indian.
Don't. I was like,
How to make millions of dollars as a growth operator. We haven't made millions, but we're pretty much going to.
"Right, speak for yourself. I'm a millionaire now.
But yeah, so there's like 5 different steps, I guess, that it takes
Yeah.
to reach to a point where you're the most vital person in a creator's business, essentially.
Yeah. Now, there's
So-
obviously like a few caveats with this, right? Number one is that the creator that you need to do this with, you can do this with one creator, right? It's going to be a lot harder because that creator has to be very well established and have a high network already and a high net worth already.
Yep.
Alternatively, you could do it with like 2 or 3, right? If you do the same thing that we're going to tell you in this video with like 2 or 3, you get the same result that you could get with just one, but obviously it's hard to land that one client, right? So most of the time what's going to happen is there's a couple steps. Number one is you need to have an idea of what you're doing when you start, okay? So the idea that you should have in your head is that you need to give as much free value to the client as possible, because right now you have 0 skills,
Yep.
0 leverage. You're just some bum who's trying to outreach to them and get them as a client.
And know what skill sets you're gonna have to improve and what skill sets you have right now. Because I get questions of like, what niche should I work with? How do I do outreach? And I'm just like, okay, what's your offer? And they say growth operating, or they say school. And I'm like, bro, watch my YouTube vids, because you need to understand that growth operating is not just because of school.com. Because most people that actually joined it is because of Eddie Cumberbatch, and they just think, I'm gonna get a client, I'm gonna make 50K a month and get half of it. Doesn't work that way, okay? Like, doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So know what you're doing, know exactly what it takes, and then start phase 2, which is outreach and getting a client.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, there's multiple ways you can do outreach. Obviously, there's X, there's Instagram DMs, TikTok not so much, but emails. There's a bunch of things, right?
Yeah.
And
We're not gonna get like too much into that because there's so many different areas that you can get outreach from. Like, this is something that mentors have told us specifically. Like, we've asked for, okay, what's the exact strategy that I need to do to get out, like to get clients and get outreach? And the truth is that most of the most popular people in the like growth operator or info product space got lucky on their first couple of clients, and the reason why they got lucky is because they were sending, maybe regular or a little bit above average outreach to the same clients that everyone else was, but they were just sending it at the exact time period when this sort of like growth operating niche and pairing with a creator and being an info product marketing agency owner was very new and novel. So it was a lot easier to get into contact with some of these big creators back then than it is now. And that shouldn't discourage you, because like Gresh and I, we're still getting clients, like there's still areas to get new clients. You just need to be a little bit more smart about your approach to outreach, right? So we're not going to spend too much time on that specifically.
just try to do things differently, basically.
Yeah.
Try to catch the other person's attention and try anything you can do. Just be a bit creative.
And oh my gosh, do not spam the same outreach and don't make it personalized. Like, you're never going to get a response. You need to make it personalized, sending quality over quantity. Even if that means you can only send like 2 looms a day, that's cool.
That's still
or like
something.
2 outreach videos a day, that's still something. That's honestly better than spamming 200,
Like 200, yeah.
just crap
Generic
generic,
ones, yeah.
emails. And it's like, oh yeah, this is a personalized message to you. Like, people can smell that a mile away, right? So that's step number 2, outreach. Step number 3, you've got the client, you've signed him, okay, awesome, right? You've managed to somehow get a client, that's great. Step number 3 is that you now start offering to do basically every single part of the business that he has. So let's say he's a content creator and he specializes in a trading offer. He sells Forex and then he has a mentorship around that, right? You start off as being the person who creates an offer, like a high ticket mentorship offer for him. So cool, you've got the cohort method running, like you're doing 10 people in every single month. You've got a basic DM funnel, awesome, right? Then you'd start learning how to do a landing page. Now you've got a landing page. Then you'd start learning how to do a VSL script. Now you've scripted out a VSL for him. Now he wants you to start making videos and posting his content on TikTok. Cool, now you just become a social media manager. You post his content on TikTok. Now he wants to make long form content. Cool, now you've just started doing script writing for him and editing on YouTube. Now he wants to freaking do in-person meetups. Cool, now you're organizing the meetups, you're setting up the venue, you're paying for accommodation. pretty soon, right? That as the step 3 or the step 4 or whatever step we're up to.
That was 3, yeah.
Yeah, one of the most important steps because that's slowly going to start getting you more involved in the business.
Yep.
Right. Then step 4, once you've done all of that stuff, which is going to take, maybe even a year or 2, like right, or 6 months.
It
a
depends
year.
how quickly you move.
Yeah.
It really depends on that.
It might take a long time, but it's supposed to take a long time because then one day, step 4, you wake up one day and you realize that you basically run his entire business and then he could never fire you because you're basically like the director and he's just the actor.
Exactly.
You tell him exactly what to do. He would be clueless without you. The whole business would probably lose money and go bankrupt if you stepped away for a day, right? And you've also outsourced all of your work as well. So you're basically just the CEO of the company. And he's like the face of it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. And at that point, do you want to add anything?
I mean, step 5 really is just rinse and repeat.
Yeah, well,
You just get more clients, rinse and repeat.
100% true. But like, let's say for this Forex guy, if he's like already set up well and he's got a high sort of net worth already, what would happen at that point after you've accumulated all these skills and you've inserted yourself as the backbone of the company? If he had a pre-existing company, or you've scaled this high ticket offer up to a crazy amount, like 100K revenue per month, and you only started off as like getting a small percentage of it, like maybe you're only getting like 15% of it plus like a 1K upfront fee, whatever. At that point, you can now ask for more money and he has to say yes. So that's when you start making millions, because if this thing's making like 200K a month, and then now you can actually leverage your own skill set into getting 25% of that amount, now you're making the big bucks. 25% plus like 25% of this other business that he has, plus he's paying you 10K for this thing, he's paying you 15K for the editing, 20K for the YouTube script writing, like all of this stuff, it accumulates to the point where one client is making you millions per year.
And you're making them even more money. Cause
Yeah, that's the only way that they can
that's
work.
the whole point, right?
Yeah. He's making 10 mil, you're making 1 mil, but that's the habit, that's the game, that's how it works.
And eventually you become the creator because as you build your brand, which should be happening, but like
In the background,
in the back, like on X, Instagram, YouTube, any platform, try to build yourself up because at a certain point you'll have authority as well.
Yeah.
And you can put yourself as like, the main guy, and have your own team by choice. That's pretty much like 5 steps.
Yeah.
The last one is rinse and repeat. Just do the same thing again and again with more clients.
Yeah.
And as outsource your work. Don't be closed-minded and refuse to have a team. Because you have to understand that you're one brain. Like, we're 2 brains here, but even this is going to hit its peak capacity very soon.
Yeah.
Where we would need another person to like handle maybe the content side of things, maybe the funnels, the emails. Like it's gonna come soon. So be open-minded and understand that the more people you have on your team, as long as you're making calculated decisions, you will make more money overall.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, it's 100% true. And the thing is, if you do all of this, right, while creating your own personal brand, again, to similar what Gresh was just saying, having that set up is going to make you an even more indispensable asset to your creator. Because if you don't have that personal brand set up and you haven't outsourced, it's going to be kind of a little bit easier to replace you, because it's not like you're anyone special. You're just another growth operator, another info product marketing agency owner who, doesn't really have a big social media presence. It's not that hard to replace you, right? But if you actually have built up a social media presence and you're that guy, it's way harder to replace you as the main dude who runs all of the person's stuff. So
That's right.
that's basically everything.
Make millions.
Yeah, that's how you would essentially generate the most amount of income, is basically just inserting yourself as the guy who runs everything, which makes sense. Like if you're running everything, you should make a lot of money.